What is going on, everyone? It's Super here and welcome back to another Mortal Kombat 11 video. And before I get started, just want to thank you guys for all the love on the MK videos, whether it be MKX or MK11. I really appreciate it. Want to give a quick shout out to my Hype and Salt of Super that I uploaded last week. It got a lot of views at the start and then it got hit by that yellow check mark demonetization. It got 35,000 views in less than 24 hours, and then in the next week it's only gotten like 5,000 views, which is it's a shame. So I'm gonna leave it down in the description if you guys want to check it out. It'll also be in the comment section. It's one of my favorite ones, especially the intro. It's awesome. So now let's get started here with the topic for today, which is gameplay mechanics that I want to see improved in MK11, because as much as we love MKX, we cannot deny the fact that the game had its flaws. It was not perfect whatsoever. It's just really fun and it's awesome, but it does have its flaws. So I'm here to talk about some of my personal improvements that I hope make it into MK11. If you were to leave it up to me, I would want something a little bit different than MKX. Like, I love the gameplay in MKX, but I want something a little bit different, not a copy and paste the same way Injustice 1 was from Injustice 2, even though it did have improvements. I don't want it to be like a strictly legacy game. Like, I want characters to have their own unique moves, new moves, etc. So I don't want the game to be like exactly the same as MKX. But if they do have something similar to the gameplay of MKX, I hope they change these mechanics. So let's get into it here. Let's start off with the first one, which I think it's the most important one just for me personally, because I feel this one really hurt the game from start to finish. I think we would have seen many different characters maybe not get nerfed that were very good on block. Maybe we would have seen a lot of different characters not be so hated if we had a block breaker that was only 1 bar of meter, because that is the thing that, in my opinion, really hurt the game as far as like having pressure on block. I think a lot of characters, like maybe Tanya, Kobujutsu Tanya at the start, wouldn't have got, well, maybe that's like she was pretty crazy, but it would have been a lot easier to get out of pressure if we only had 1 bar of block breaker, the same way we have in Injustice. I think that it's super good, because if you're getting pressured to death, you could easily just reset everything back to neutral and just say, let's start this over. I'm spending a bar of meter so we could start our neutral over. You have to get in again, you have to pressure me, and especially in the corner, it creates some space, so you're able to, do things that you normally wouldn't do if the block breaker is 2 bars. Because why in the hell would you ever spend 2 bars on the block breaker when the actual combo breaker was 2 bars? I never understood why NetherRealm had the combo breaker, like you getting out of the combo, for 2 bars when the block breaker was 2 bars as well. That never made sense to me. And I think if the block breaker would have been 1 bar, there would have been many situations where maybe characters would not have gotten nerfed as much, or we would have had as big a problem with characters that were insanely good pressure characters on block if we had the block breaker. Of course, if you didn't have meter, these characters would excel, right? But once you get that bar of meter, you push block that mofo out of there. And I think having 1 bar cost you a block breaker is super important for MK11, because Mortal Kombat is known to have insane pressure on block. It's just a fact. Like, MKX is known for having 50/50s and insane block pressure. So 1 bar for a block breaker is a must. That is my #1 thing in this game for MK11. Block breakers have to be 1 bar. Next up here, I think I think that every MK has had 3 bars of meter, right? If I'm not mistaken, at least from when NetherRealm became NetherRealm, not like Midway. I don't know about the old school games, but I'm pretty sure MK9 was 3 bars, MKX was 3 bars. But I think they should up the ante and make it a 4-bar game, because you spend so much meter on different things, combos, and especially if they do make block breakers 1 bar of meter, it'll be so helpful if you had an extra bar of meter. Keep the combo breakers to 2 bars. Maybe the games would last a little bit longer, but Mortal Kombat is fast-paced enough. Like you're gonna build meter, you're gonna have you're gonna get put into combo situations. This one's kind of like a iffy one. I have another one that's like kind of iffy, but I would kind of like to see 4 bars of meter, just because you know, there's just so much you could do. Block breaker, combo breaker, you know, EX, meter, especially if they don't have armored launchers again, and you have to spend an extra bar to get the launcher part of an armored move. Same way for like Predator, his stab, you could have armor on it, but if you wanted to launch, you have to have 2 bars of meter. That's very meter expensive for a 3-bar game. So I think the fact that the way MKX developed at the end, I think having that extra bar of meter would really help out. Alright, moving on to number 3, and this one is almost as important as having the block breaker available for 1 bar, which is improved anti-airs. Now, this is something that I think NetherRealm did a better job in Injustice 2. There's some crazy jump-ins in Injustice 2, but the fact that a lot of characters have ways to anti-air, whether it be aerial grabs, whether it be you know, down 2s, I think they did a way better job of anti-airs in Injustice 2. Now, MKX had really good anti-cross-ups, like Aaron Black, for example, or Jax, you know, comes to mind. Their stand 1 would actually anti-air someone trying to jump over you. Now, that's good, because it's always annoying when someone gets that jump in, they keep on jumping, they jump over you. You know, you guys know, jump, 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 jump. I always said that whenever I played MKX, because characters like Scorpion and fucking Kung Jin and some of the crazy crossover jump ones like Sub-Zero's jump one, my goodness, that jumping is so annoying. So if characters have ways to anti-air that consistently and even into combos, like the stand 1s into combos, that's going to help out the game a lot, because you're not going to see a jump fest 24/7 like with some characters. Like before they sort of nerf Alien's jump in, you were never anti-air Alien, ever, 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 ever. His jump 2 was too good. And kind of the same thing with Jason, with Slasher Jason, because he has an extended hitbox from his machete, doesn't have a hurt box. So characters like that, I think if they're gonna have crazy jump-ins, at least give us good consistent answers for it via anti-airs. Either make uppercuts do a little bit more damage, or just extend their hitboxes, or give characters, you know, Kodokan already has one. He has a really, really good anti-air, which is his aerial grab. You know, give some characters more of that if they're like grappling characters, or just extend some of the hitboxes. I don't know, but I think having better anti-airs for the crazy jump-ins that I know are going to come in MK11 is again going to be something on defense. It's going to help out, because we all know MKX is going to be super offensive, and that's one of the reasons we all love it. But you got to have some defense, baby. If you got the reactions and stuff, you got to have some defense for, you know, to get around some of that stuff. So anti-airs, hopefully they're improved. Anti-cross-ups in MKX were good for the most part, the majority of characters, but like down 2s for half the cast sucked. Predator would never, ever anti-air someone with a down 2 unless you read they were going to jump and preemptively down 2'd, because his down 2 was just too slow. It was around 12 frames. So hopefully they improve anti-airs in MK11. That's something that was a big problem in MKX, I think. Next up here is I wrote down like the input system. There's times where I just can't get an input. Like, you have to be insanely precise, and I know for some people it might be like super good to have like incredibly precise buttons, but to me sometimes it feels a little clunky. For example, when I'm trying to do like instant air gunshots with Cassie Cage, or when I'm trying to do back forward moves with some characters, or command grabs, a lot of people have problems with command grabs. You know, you have to be incredibly precise. I still to this day have trouble doing the command grab for Jason on block, you know, the tick throws, like back one into command grab. You have to be precise with that, and back one, of course, you have to go from back to down to back to forward if you want to do the tick throw on block. And it's a very important tool for Jason, but I feel sometimes the inputs are very stiff and clunky, so hopefully they fix that coming up in MK11. I'm not gonna lie, Injustice 2 kind of has that problem sometimes as well. Like sometimes back forward motions feel incredibly stiff. So hopefully they clean up the input system in the game. And the last one here that's not like an iffy one. Last one's like an iffy one. This one for sure. I think that you shouldn't be penalized for using your stamina. By that I mean you should be able to break combos and do a block breaker if you don't have full stamina. I can't tell you how many times I was trying to break, and I saw the stupid red stamina bar notifying me that I didn't have full stamina or enough stamina to break. I think you had to have about 70% of your stamina to break. Sometimes you didn't have that. Sometimes you run in to try to get a combo. You know, maybe your opponent catches you with something, you're trying to break the combo, but guess what? You try to, you know, run to close the gap on your opponent, and now you're dead because your stamina doesn't refill fast enough, and then you lose even though you had 2 bars of meter to break your combo. You should not be penalized for using your stamina as far as breaking combos. This should not be a thing. But other than that, this last one's kind of iffy, and that is do not take stamina away for backdashing. Now, like I said, that one's kind of iffy. Of course, take stamina away for forward dashing when you dash cancel, because there's going to be run cancel characters. Like when you run and dash cancel, stuff like that. Take stamina away when you do that. But I think backdashing is so important in MK because the backdashes are invincible, and there's a lot of gaps in between some combo strings, pressure strings, special moves that a lot of times you might be afraid of backdash, especially late in the game, because as I explained before, if you don't have 70% of your stamina bar, you're not going to be able to clash or break. So there's been many times where I'm like, I don't know if I should backdash this string. I know there's a gap in here, but if I backdash and he still like catches me somehow, I'm not going to be able to break this and I'm gonna lose. So I think that backdashing shouldn't cost stamina. But then again, that's an iffy one, because if there are a lot of moves and a lot of combo strings that do have gaps in them, like it's just going to be a backdash fest. Like a backdash fest. I don't think there was any stamina meter in MK9, was there? I don't think there was any stamina meter. So you had infinite backdashes. I don't know. I feel that backdashes shouldn't be punished via the stamina bar. I don't think you should lose anything from the stamina bar if you backdash, because it's totally a defensive option. Like there's nothing offensive about backdashing unless, you know, you punish your opponent obviously, but you're doing that through defense. So that is going to be the end of today's video. Just to reiterate real quick, I feel like MKX or MK11 should have push block cost 1 bar of meter. I think the game should switch from 3 bars to 4 bars of meter. I feel like anti-airs need to be buffed in MK11 for every character. They need to be better. The input system sometimes is clunky. Hopefully they clean that up. And I don't think you should need to have almost full stamina to be able to break combos or block breaker, because I already explained everything. The last one that's a little iffy is I don't know if stamina should be taken away if you backdash. So that's going to be the end of today's video. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section, if there's anything you would change for MK11. But that's it. I will see you guys next time. What's going on? It's Super here, and thank you for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you guys subscribed if you are not already. Also, check out any of these videos linked at the top. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time.